It may be drizzling here on Championship Sunday, but nothing will extinguish this Chicago crowd. You gotta love this 2022 Chicago Open right here on Oak Street Beach. It's time to get to the women's semifinals, and this one is going to be phenomenal. It's Kelly Cheng, Betsy Flint versus Kloth and Kristen Nuss. Kloth and Kristen Nuss just coming off an epic battle to get into this semifinal. Hi everyone, I'm Cameron Irwin alongside Rich Lamborn, and they fended off so many straight points, 5 straight for them, to then all of a sudden face off and get a match against Pavin and Gradina.
Well, yeah, it's not easy to give up 5 straight and think you're in the driver's seat and all of a sudden you're facing a match point against you. But that shows the grit of these two girls, and you expect to see that roll over into the semifinal match. Well,
and they're going to have to find a little something extra special against Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint. We saw them yesterday against Hughes and Kolinsky, and they were electric. To say they were on fire is a bit of an understatement. I think Kelly Cheng had probably an efficiency of, what, 750, 850 up there. She was phenomenal. And not to mention Betsy Flint patrolling the backcourt as well. That team is one looking for another title here in 2022. We've got Mark Sherman down on the sand.
Now. Hi, my name's Mark. I hope you're having a great day. We're having a great day. Chicago, you guys having a great day? I'm having a fantastic day. Yes, we're not even halfway through Championship Sunday. We are pretty much just getting started. It's time for the semifinals. You know who's not just getting started? These two ladies. No, they got us started at the beginning of the day with a fantastic 3-set victory here on Stadium Court. Let's bring them out here. Let's do it again. First, we're going to say hi to the 5'6" defender who is just insane. She has all the shots, ladies and gentlemen, all the shots in the book. She even wrote her own chapter because she's got some that I've never seen before. Let me hear it for Kristen Nuss. And her partner out of Creighton University, where she played indoor. She came on down to LSU, said, what is this whole beach volleyball thing everybody's talking about? I bet I can do that too. Oh, yes, she can. Going 36-0 in her senior year at LSU. She is a 2-time AVP champion. She is Kloth. How good have these two been in the last month, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely insane. Taking home a gold medal on the F5EB World Tour. Looking to get the gold medal here at the Gold Series. This first player out of South Dakota and LMU. Let me hear it for Betsy Flint. And her partner out of USC in Fullerton, California, the 147-time national champion. It just keeps getting more. I can never remember the number, exactly how much it was. Let me hear it for Kelly Cheng.
Hand in hand, Flint and Cheng run to their opponents. Kloth and Kristen Nuss, 17-15. They already won a match today to make it into this semifinal. The other women's semifinal also in action on our outer court coverage. It's time to get things started. Cheng, Flint on the left side of your screen. Kloth and Nuss on the right. Looking for a spot into the finals. Flint's on that one. Nuss with a quick snap, up and over again. Nuss is there. And we saw so much of that a day ago from Kristen Nuss. She's 5'6", but she is the jumbo master.
Yeah, she really goes to that shot a lot, right? And so effectively. Because she's got all the sharp shots as well, so you kind of find yourself running towards those, and then you see that jumbo rainbowing over your shoulder.
People always talk about range, right? When the hitter's range, she challenges you vertically as well in terms of using the entire court length, not just left to right.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's so important to vary the depth of your shots. Kristen Nuss does that so well.
Let's look at Kelly Cheng. 2 AVP titles to her name, as do the other 2 on the other side of the net. Somehow that's set over. chance to recover.
A lot going on that rally.
A lot of extra touches over on that right side.
And really some shaky contacts there, but well cleaned up at the end by Kelly Cheng. You mentioned the fire we saw out of her in that third set yesterday. She really found another gear, right?
Yes, so she hit 800 in that third set alone yesterday. Kloth puts one away. That third set against Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kalinsky. That was in the quarterfinal. They won in 3 sets, 21-19, 19-21, 15-10. All 3 quarterfinals yesterday, or 3 of the 4 quarterfinals yesterday, went to 3 sets. That was the largest margin in any of those. 9 sets played was 5 points. Wild. There's Betsy Flint, product of LMU. Also a coach there. 5'10", just 30 years old. And mom to Cora. Quick set to Nuss and even quicker feet, Kelly Cheng.
Yeah, quick hands that time, Kelly Cheng. My kind of coaching mentor, Tyler Hildebrand, used to say it like this: your hands are the fastest part of the chain when it comes to blocking.
3-4 on the first switch. Kelly Cheng, a premier blocker in the United States. Great pull defense, you'll see her do several times. Also loves to option play, so she'll go on 2 as an attacker. She brings a lot of fire to a game, including from the service line. Just 26 years old. National champion out of USC. Big swing and Nuss is there. I'm liking the way Betsy Flint's chasing down these high lines. And finds one of her own.
Yeah, that's a great pickup, great shot. But man, Kristen can dig the ball, can't she?
Doesn't matter where it is or how hard driven.
When we talk about, there's 2 components, right? Being in the right spot, making the right read, but then controlling the ball. And she does that second part so well. Controls the ball that comes to her.
Kloth and Kristen Nuss, products of the collegiate beach volleyball game we often talk about. Went 36-0 their senior year playing alongside one another at LSU. Kloth originally out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Was a little bit late to the beach game compared to some others now playing. Played indoor at Creighton. Switched to the beach side.
Yeah, it's fascinating how much control and how good her touch is out on the sand for somebody who's, you know, relatively late to the game.
Is it out?
Because that's a huge area of development, right? We see a lot of indoor players coming over to the sand. You have one on your squad, and Taylor Sander obviously has some beach experience for sure, but there's that nuance element that they've got to try and figure out in all the shot selection as well as block.
Yeah, and hand setting, you know, becoming more and more a part of the game. You know, it's, you have those things or you don't, and you know that kind of determines how big your learning curve is going to be. And Tara Kloth really an impressive athlete to shorten that learning curve as much as she has.
Also impressive in stature as she's marked at 6'4", and again, I believe that's just the second. Have I missed one?
No, I think that's just the second, but I mean, that's how good that shot was. That Betsy was only 5-6 feet in the court, and she still can't get that thing perfectly in the corner. Untouchable jumbo from Kristen Nuss.
Gets a little too far underneath of that one, does Kristen Nuss. These two faced off in the quarterfinals against Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponsel. That was one of those 3-set battles, and the differential was only 3 points at max as you take a look at Kelly Cheng and Betsy Flint and what they've done this season. winners over New Orleans. And yeah, it's important you recognize defeating there Kloth and Nuss. This is a rematch from that final.
Ooh, what a snap by Betsy, but it will go down. The kill on two, Taryn Kloth.
And of course, these two in Cheng and Flint, just 2 weeks ago, found themselves in a final. And the granddaddy of them all. They were up 13-10 in that third set against Hughes and Kalinsky. And it was 5 straight the other direction. They're still looking for some redemption here in Chicago. They found some yesterday in that match versus Hughes and Kalinsky in the quarterfinals, like we mentioned.
According to our stats, the final loss is their only loss to the team of Kalinsky and Hughes this year, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. It was 3-1 up until that point. Now it's 4-1 as of yesterday's competition.
And in firm control here in this first set, Cheng and Flint.
So 11-6 now. Again, the rain and a little bit of drizzle isn't holding back these 4 athletes. As you see, Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss this year, second in New Orleans, again highlighted because they lost to Cheng and Flint. But more importantly, I feel like we got to highlight they won the first tournament of the year in Austin. Then a 5th in Fort Lauderdale, a 5th in Atlanta, a 5th in Manhattan Beach. And it's important to note those two, as those are also Gold Series events. This being the 3rd and final here in Chicago, as all of our teams are jockeying for a position into the championships. September 23rd and 24th in Phoenix. You take your best 2 out of 3 finishes in order to come up with your Gold Series standing points. And now you can see this is where the women stand. Hughes and Kalinsky, who are no longer in the competition as of now, taking a loss. They have clinched, however, a top 2 spot, as Cannon and Sponsel have also clinched a top 4 spot. So 4 teams will be a part of that automatic main draw, and then there'll also be 2 wild cards. You see Kloth and Nuss currently sitting at that 6th spot. 3,782 total points. Doubles could be called there. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that, just considering the rain.
Yeah, it is always amazing to me how good players are at hand setting the ball, because, you know, even on hot days, the ball gets slippery, players are sweating and so forth. Really never deters good hand setters from breaking out their paws.
It's interesting. Kristen Nuss continues to try and find that high line over and over. Betsy Flint has actually done a nice job. I think maybe 1, 2 at this point have fallen, but the rest have been either out of bounds or picked up by Flint.
Yeah, and I think this part right here, the pull element of the defensive game of Cheng and Flint is going to be huge, right? Because Kristen, a wonderful defender, but she's a little bit undersized, so if that set isn't right where Betsy and Kelly figure she needs it, they're going to pull and try and play defense.
Well, and to your point yesterday in that match versus Cannon and Sponsel, here's another look at Nuss as they pull off yet again to play double down defense. And another pull dig. That's Cheng. Little tomahawk action. And unleashing is Taryn Kloth. But the number of digs at one point or another for Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponsel was nearly identical. Both at one point having at least 10 digs in that match, which is shocking when you have a blocker with that many.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday, I think, you and I, that the pull dig is such a part of the women's game strategically, right? It's not just a reaction to a poor set. It is pointed strategy that teams employ in order to score points. So you will see blockers with more digs, like you said, than you will, you know, on the men's side by comparison.
14-7 now. They have Jordan Cheng under the umbrella as their coach. You can see the flags just on the top of our stadium court, and this is what I love. Look at, you have the temp, the humidity at 87%. Now that's also because it is currently raining. And this Chicago crowd has shown up from the beginning of this morning, and still, doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna stop them from watching AVP Beach.
Undeterred.
Undeterred.
Quick start.
I want that guy's hat. Nice little bucket hat. That's what you need today. Everyone's still having a great time, though. I mean, why not? It's the final Gold Series stop and Championship Sunday. Cameron Irwin and Rich Lamborn with you. Nuss walks into that. She hid behind the block of Kloth.
In there for 8.
Running towards that line. Nice defensive timing there from Nuss.
Good put away, kind of fall away cross court swing. Great set there from Kelly Cheng from deep in the court. And Betsy puts a little pop on that to get the kill. Nice little save after a tough pass.
There's a tough serve from Cheng. That was thumped.
Boom!
You can hear that. Feel that up here.
I like that swing from the former outside hitter. They were both on that ball. Cheng interfered there with the block. I like that play and creates an opportunity. Kloth might have been able to do something if Cheng didn't throw up those hands.
Yeah. Well, you can see too that the on-2, even though, like you mentioned, both players were on the first on-2 ball that Kelly Cheng hit, it pays dividends because it forces Kristen to lean that way, opens up the line for Betsy Flint.
No, that's a great call by you. Sometimes it's not necessarily about hitting the sand every single time. Setting up your other shots, making the team uncomfortable or pay attention to something else. Creating space later on in matches.
Long road back here in this first set, though, for Taryn and Kristen.
Nice set. Up and over. And the road gets a little bit longer, 18-10. Cheng and Flint continue. I mean, take a look at that number, though. That kind of tells you everything you need to know. 7 hitting errors on the side of Kloth and Nuss. That's the difference maker in terms of those 8 points.
Yeah, it's almost the entire difference right there in one statistic. And you can't give a team, certainly not one that's playing as well as Cheng and Flint, 7 free points, or you're going to have a tough Sunday morning.
Waterfall.
Yeah, that is a sneaky little shot.
Feels a little bit like their pass and set isn't exactly where they want it to be. We've seen more hitting errors than we normally do from these two. Look at this set. Just falling kind of backwards, off balance.
Yeah, not a great set on that particular play. You have to credit the defense of Cheng and Flint, though. You know, when you get a lot of your shots touched,
yeah,
it forces you to try and carve off a little too much sometimes, and that's when the hitting errors creep in.
Another great point. There's the cut shot we've come to know and love from Kristen Nuss. This is their 7th time on the AVP Tour. It's impressive. You have 2 titles and 7 tournaments.
Yeah, they came out on fire straight from college, made their presence felt immediately.
Of course, you're referring to Atlanta last year. First AVP tournament, they came in and took it all, winning the championship. Put everybody on notice. Right now, Cheng and Flint came to Chicago and kind of put everybody else on notice too with the way they've been playing, continuing the trek. 19-13.
There's always a little bit of that ebb and flow, right? Especially when great teams like Kloth and Nuss come out and nobody knows them yet. They can surprise some people, and they certainly played great volleyball and surprised everybody in Atlanta last year, like you mentioned. Then there's a little bit of that correction as people get some game film, start to figure them out a little bit, and then how do they make their adjustments? Right, and they've done a nice job of that this season, getting another win like we saw in Austin in the opening event.
Yep.
A nice, no less than third finish here, but they would certainly hope for more than that.
They wanted a sky ball from Kelly Cheng. She waved everybody off, said, not today. Got important matters to address.
Let's get to the side switch.
15-20 on the side switch.
Done yet here in set number 1.
So, I mean, nothing's unsurmountable, right?
Nothing is insurmountable. Certainly, we, like you talked about, their first match today, they had a 4-point lead that felt comfortable. And then all of a sudden it was not so comfortable when they were facing a match point. But they settled in nicely and closed that one out. Not to be here in this first set.
Number 1, Flint and
so this serve 21-15. Cheng and Flint again show up and perform beautifully. They're one set away from making the final here in Chicago. The AVP is brought to you by Terramana Small Batch Tequila. Bring on the mana. By Clean Skin, high performance sunscreen and skincare products for the outdoor lifestyle. By White Claw Hard Seltzer. And by Sky Vodka, made with water enriched by Pacific Minerals for a fresher tasting vodka and soda.
Radio gym shorts that you have from college, they're done. Get them out of here. It's time to upgrade your short game with the one from Fabletics, man.
We love them. Your girlfriend will be stealing these. They're the best.
This fabric fixes another major issue, fit.
It's got this crazy stretch to it that looks so cute when I do my yoga or errands or like literally anything. They're the most comfortable, best feeling luxe-tastic fabric that we have ever worn.
I'm Carrie Walsh-Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. Retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Talk about a rough day on the lake. This lifeguard's making sure everyone's well taken care of. I don't know if that's where you want to be, but...
That is not where I want to be, no.
Cameron Irwin alongside Rich Lamborn. We're right in the middle of a women's semifinal action. Those two, that's Betsy Flint and Kelly Cheng, who took the first set and rather adamantly 21-15 over Kloth and Nuss, the #6 seed, who have already played a match on the day to work into the semifinal. The hitting errors we talked about, and that plays into the efficiency.
Yeah, I like that description rather adamantly. I am adamantly going to take this first set. I like that. And it was a very decisive win in that first set by Cheng and Flint.
I'll let you use that in the box with Crab and Sander.
Okay. Let's be adamant about this one, boys.
Well, those two need to find a little something extra special right now. Kloth has done phenomenal in terms of the kills that she's been able to come up with. You can see the hitting errors, 0 for her. So those hitting errors did come at the hand of Nuss, who sees, of course, the majority of the side out, as well as all the transition balls.
Yeah, and we talked about Kristen's defensive prowess, but they would probably like to see a few more notches in the column of the blocks from Kloth at the net.
That's a great call. Miss serve, 1 apiece. I like the intent from these two coming into Chicago. Cheng and Flint. Nice block back. Good recovery. That's a line.
In there for 2-1.
File that under you can't teach height. Just a straight up jump, slap to the corner from Kloth. Great swing.
So look to do it again. Cheng and Flint looking to go straight sets to the final.
I like the you gotta be kidding me look from Kelly Cheng.
Yeah.
Big block. There's the one she wanted. Kloth gets her first.
Gets her first block. 3-1.
Yeah, you got to get a few of those, not only to score the points, but to get in the psyche of your opponent, right? You don't want them feeling footloose and fancy free up there like they can do anything they want against your blocking defense.
Betsy Flint came to Manhattan Beach and was taking a lot of swings at the ball and scoring a lot of points. Here she's been very calculated on her approach as she finds one off the heel of her hand.
I'd love to see another look at that one. I mean, her body position here when she hits this is something else.
She gets blocked, and she uses almost the same maneuver to dig the ball as she does to actually hit the ball.
Yeah, she kind of just went with the hook shot.
Down the line, last second turn from Nuss.
There's a line shot falling for Nuss. Ace! Need a little extra juice on that net right now from this rain.
And they've certainly turned the tides, at least early here in the second set. Playing a little better, got a couple blocks from Kloth, like we mentioned they would need. And trickle aces never hurt.
5-2. Better start for Nuss and Kloth. Nice pickup. Betsy wipes her hands and sets a nice ball and a block, but it's out of bounds. She was all the way at the top of her jump, started to fall, but still got a hand on it.
The swing and then the contortionist act from Kelly Cheng there to get out of the way. That defensive setup right there from Cheng and Flint, I think, is giving Kristen a little bit of problems right now, where Kelly makes that big move into the angle, shows it early. It's just throwing a little bit of a wrench in the side-out game of Nuss for the moment. Just sorts it out there, though. Yeah.
Still a little bit more communication from those two. You know, it's so fun because we saw them obviously come out, win in Atlanta, then win in Austin. And then there was conversation because obviously their goal is to go to the 2024 Olympics, as is the goal of the other team in Cheng and Flint. You got to find international points in order to do that. And there was a lot of conversation. How do you get into those international competitions when you're starting with 0 points? But these two were fearless on that approach, as is Nuss on that dig. That's enough of an angle. And high and over the top. But they proved that it wasn't going to be a problem for them. They went on to the international ranks and won tournament and gained all the points they needed. Now they're just getting into draws.
Yeah, when you have the confidence that they have in their game, it's just a matter of getting out there. You have to start at some lower level tournaments to get points and earn your way into maybe qualifiers at bigger tournaments and such. But they certainly have the game to do that and give themselves at least the opportunity to compete for a spot in the 2024 games.
Of course, there is one Olympian already out on the sand. That's Kelly Cheng. She played alongside Sarah Sponsel in Tokyo. They decided to go their separate ways, find new partners here in 2022. There's an option. Ripped down the line. The grunt. I love it.
The courtside mic gives us full insight into the grunting of Kelly Cheng when she gets on top of a ball like that.
My sisters used to tell me that if you grunt when you hit the ball, you hit 10% harder. I don't know if that's actually factual, but why not? Looked like it was there.
Your sisters are scientists, huh?
Wait, right on the edge of the line. We're going to switch sides.
Kloth and Nuss still with the lead as they look back at the ball mark. They got all four on the same side. It's all smiles between these two teams, though. A little extra conversation as they cross paths. Miss serve. Mentioned the international trek for Kloth and Nuss. Already played in 7 FIVB events, winning in Australia in their first. And they played in Itapema, took a 9th. Then it was off to Turkey where they won it all. In Latvia, they finished with a 5th, and then Stad a 5th as well. You can see now the errors, just one additional now for Nuss in set number 2. 10 kills, 9 kills.
Now, yesterday you were talking about Kolinsky and Hughes dropping into the cross court on her on-2 ball on Kelly Cheng's option ball. Kristen Nuss running to the line a lot, having some success in this match so far, but Kelly Cheng seeing it well that time.
Somehow Kristen Nuss finds a way around that block. But yeah, to your point, and Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kolinsky kind of had that same approach where they'd put Kolinsky dropping into the angle and then Hughes kind of filtering into the line to dig the hard-driven ball. But I also like the way that Cheng recovered from that. She goes short, pokey line as well. Found much success there. Betsy Flint with a perfect pass. A little bit too tight on that set.
Yeah, Taryn's starting to affect the offense, though, up there at the net. You know, she got a block early, got a couple other touches, and it just makes you think that extra split second when you're an attacker.
That's a good point. Let's see how she can affect this one. Indecisive is Taryn Kloth right there. I like the determination you see on Betsy Flint's face. And it starts from the very first time she's introduced on the sand. She doesn't break her smile or anything. Pure and utter determination, the will to win shown on Betsy Flint.
Technical timeout. 3-point lead, Kloth and Nuss.
She's all business.
9. We're just underway on.
A nice response here from Kloth and Nuss in this second set, having a 3-point lead at the technical.
12-9 now in the technical timeout. You know, it's wild to think, have you ever heard of a team being sponsored by an actual state? Apart from Kloth and Nuss, they're both wearing the Louisiana State hats on their shirt, or on their, excuse me, logo on their hat.
They're sponsored by the state of Louisiana?
That is accurate. They are sponsored by the state. So get this, the story goes that Kristen Nuss was just sitting at home one day, you know, she was helping her mom out, sitting at the desk, going through some newspapers and whatnot, and then all of a sudden she gets a phone call from an unknown number. She said she usually doesn't pick them up, but she decided to pick up the phone this time. And guess who was on the phone? Was the lieutenant governor of Louisiana, who decided that, yeah, we want to support this team. So now they are sponsored by the state of Louisiana. That's the time, I guess, you want to pick up your phone, even on unknown numbers. And here's a look, of course, at the history of Chicago. This is the 20th women's event. Kleiman and Ross have won the last 3. Obviously not possible now. They are not competing here in Chicago.
Again, just unbelievable control on that dig. Great spot, of course, but then to control that dig so perfectly. Wonderful job from Kristen Nuss. I'm hoping their sponsorship deal is better than the Louisiana Purchase was way back when, you know?
Like it took you a whole rally to come up with that. That one falls. 10-13. Also, in talking to Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth, I asked them at the beginning of the season, I said, who's a team you want to face off against? Who's a team you love to face off against? And ironically, they said, we want another crack at Betsy and Kelly. This is a competition that they thrive in. They love to face off against this team. There's a look at their efficiencies, set 1 to set 2.
Yeah, that's the sign of true competitors, right? When you have, you know, tough matches against a team, but that makes you want to play them more. And you're not looking for the easy road.
Line is the call. Great execution for Flint.
2-3.
Reminds me of a clip I've seen a few times on Instagram and such of Roger Federer being asked, who's your toughest opponent? He says, Rafa Nadal. And he says, who's your favorite person to play against? He says, Rafa Nadal.
Exactly. Nuss with a quick check down, and that's a great line shot.
Change of depths like you were talking about, right? The short line shot, because Betsy's all over everything but that one on the line.
(14-12) now. Kloth and Nuss need set number 2. Love the deep exhale there from Kloth. She still misses. Tomahawk. Nuss with an open net. It's unreal.
Tying it up, but
yeah, the control she has on her contacts is really, really impressive. Airborne there, going tomahawk like you said, and she controls it perfectly and gets the put away.
There's a look at the numbers for Kristen Nuss in set 1. She had 20 attacks, 6 kills with those 7 errors. But it has been a different story here in set number 2. Take a look at that. 13 attacks, 8 kills, and only 2 errors. It's all about a game of adjustments. There's a dig. Fake, fake, open net. The danger of the option opens the floor for Betsy Flint.
Yeah, I mean, that looks disheartening if you're in the crowd, but it's just, you know, that's a good read from Taryn. That'll work out sometimes for you. It's just another point.
Yeah, but to us, you know, it looks really cool, Rich.
Right? I agree. That looked very cool. It was a great bomb in the angle from Betsy Flint.
No, but to your point, points to point. Moving on. Kloth, Nuss. The number is aces to errors. Cheng. Quick poke to the line. Got Gotta love the way she comes in aggressive every single time.
It's like yesterday we saw, you know, one or two players take one hard off the chest, you know, and you go, ooh, it really kind of has that shock value as a spectator, but it's just another point.
12 kills, 0 hitting errors for Kelly Cheng.
17-15, keeping that 1-2 point advantage. Kloth and
This
Nuss.
team, oh, go ahead.
Good high swing that time from Kristen Nuss. She's doing a nice job. You talked about her cleaning up her errors in this second set, and she's doing a nice job of really varying her offense as well. Shooting a lot, but also throwing in some good high swings like that.
Another unreal stab as she adds the pressure, throwing that to the deep corner. Nearly coming up with a big block.
Even when she has to go to the ground, Kelly's not shorting herself on the screams post-kill. I like it.
This woman's all about the fire, and we're here for it. Fire and ice, her and her partner. It's made for a deadly combination in 2022.
Too high that time from Taryn. Kelly saw it well, I think, and tried the delay, but Taryn just too big up there.
The rain continues to fall. Wow, that was a well-placed set with a ball that was very spinny, ended up pretty tight on the body of Betsy Flint, but well managed.
I feel like a little easier to locate when you flatten it out just a little bit, as we saw Betsy do there very nicely.
These two teams are 2-2 in 2022. That's combined AVP as well as FIVB competitions, and again, there it is.
Yeah, and she's cracking that code now, right? We saw her have a little bit of trouble figuring out where she wanted to go on that angle pull, but she's
found
come
it now.
up with the answer, yeah.
Again, you go back to the greats, being able to make adjustments on the fly. Kristen Nuss showing that right now. And a block to pair it off.
TKN with a set point.
2017, Cheng and Flint take a timeout. Here's a block. She started set number 2 with one, and right now she's nearing end of set 2 with the same. And while we've got a second here, let's take a look at what's happening in the other women's semifinal. First look at Humana Paredes and Wilkerson, the Canadian duo, facing off against Cannon and Sponso, who took set number 1. And that one looks like it's potentially going to a third as well. But who knows right now? Cannon and Sponso played very well against Taryn, Kloth, Kristen Nuss yesterday. A little bit of a new scouting report against Humana Paredes and Wilkerson. Wilkerson had been playing with Zana Muno. Humana Paredes announcing the split with her longtime partner, Sarah Pavin, and Olympic partner, Sarah Pavin. We saw her take a loss here on Stadium Court this morning alongside Tina Gradina of USC, as well as competing for Latvia, also an Olympian.
Yeah, individually, those are two players that everyone's familiar with. They've been staples on the AVP and the World Tour for quite a few years now, but as a team, this is the first look we're getting at them, right? And so there's always that wrinkle of chemistry and sort of game planning.
There's the numbers for Taryn Kloth. You mentioned the blocks, and there are 2 from set 1 to set 2 as Nuss misses that one. So they earn one back to Cheng and Flint. Flint's gonna stick with her topspin jump serve. And it's a good one. Spinning sideways, jump ball! Make it her third in the match. Yes, I'm keeping track. Cheng and Flint just dropped the set to Kloth and Nuss, which means, hey, more volleyball here on Championship Sunday. What more could you ask for?
That was an unbelievable pass on this tough serve. Perfect. Good set in the knuckle jumbo. And then just a great look at the class of the game of Kristen Nuss right there.
Could make for a great drinking game. Number of times jumbos fall off the hand of Kristen Nuss. Every time. Have some fun with us, right? We're not allowed to here in the booth, but maybe you at home. There's a look at the set 2 stats. Cheng, Flint, Kloth, and Nuss. Very different from set 1 to set 2. You know, and it was those two things we talked about. It was reducing errors and finding blocks, Rich.
Correct. Yeah, we saw Taryn get one to start the set, like you mentioned. She got one late there to get their 20th point, and those were pivotal.
Okay, so now I'm thinking in terms of strategy, right? We've seen multiple times that short line shot when Kelly Cheng is pulling into the angle. How might that game kind of maybe change, shift, or do they stick with the same strategy going into set 3?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, I think this third set just comes down to execution.
Okay.
A little bit, but that is certainly an adjustment that needs to be made if they're going to stick with the pole digging, which I assume that they will on the side of Cheng and Flint. Maybe you give like a jab step into the cross and drop into that short line, give her a couple different looks, or you have Betsy swing around and play for that short one until Kristen makes a change again.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eye on that, as here's the number that's, wow, third straight 3-set match for the number 6 seed, Kloth and Nuss. Nothing new for them. 11-3 record in those 3-set matches all time on the AVP tour. It's a decent number. Kloth with the full send. Okay, plenty of time to get back.
In there.
Speaking of short lines.
Yeah, I feel like Kelly Cheng, that used to be one that she used all the time, the short line poke consistently, but then she was able to continue kind of expanding her offense. As you see the numbers now, 10-2 in 3-set matches for Cheng and Flint. But she can use the old bread and butter whenever she needs it.
Well, it really opens up the rest of the court if you've got that to go to, right?
Absolutely. One apiece now. Betsy Flint missed that serve, but she's been known to be one of the best servers on tour with that jump float.
Just wide, had the open court, and that's part of the execution game we're talking about, right? Perfect decision, the right shot just a little bit wide.
Fakes the option again. Kloth gets back and earns the block. She says, no, no, not again.
Yeah, that's an impressive move, and that's one we saw Kelly Kalinsky make a bunch at the end of that Manhattan Beach Open final, right?
Absolutely.
Where you kind of bite on the pole, but then you recover and get back up to the net and put your hands up there and get the stuff.
That was the exact same play.
Nicely done, Taryn.
Mine. That's a point for Kelly Cheng right there, just solely based off of the position she was in, having to set that ball.
I don't even understand that level of wrist mobility to be facing the net like that. And
I don't know how she did that. Oh, we're up in the booth trying to figure it out with our hands as we speak. Efficiencies, 556, 167.
Oh, what a block.
Speaking of blocks on the option, Cheng finds one.
It was almost more of a dig. She was in kind of a, not all the way to the net, it didn't look like. Let's see where she gets this. Yeah.
Good things happen when you hustle.
Out of there for 3.
It's a couple times now, though, that they've scored and then missed their next serve.
That's 2.
Yeah, they've
in
got
set 3.
They've got to be careful of that if they want to win this third set. Those kind of management things become critical as sets and matches go on.
There's the option down the line. It was a little quiet in terms of options in set 2 on both sides of the net.
Yeah, not a huge part of the game of Kloth and Nuss.
Nope.
But they are very capable, as we've seen Taryn unload on a couple second balls already this match.
And again, that's an area of development for those two. We talk about you know, their hopes and dreams as Cheng and Flint also wanting to go to the Olympics, but there's still a lot of room for growth with these two, and they have that growth mindset they talk about all the time. Lots of training, but Taryn Kloth wants to try and keep adding in some of those options. She's not quite that comfortable with it yet. That's a great play from Kristen Nuss.
And you would think they would be kind of perfect candidates for it, right?
Exactly.
Taryn big up there at the net, and Kristen has such great control. You would think she could feed those balls into her big partner with relative ease, kind of mitigate some of the pressure offensively that Kristen faces.
Another important storyline to follow here in Chicago is that we've had no repeat winners on the women's side here in 2022. Both of these two teams have won a title. And there's a huge dig from Nuss. Quick tempo, and that's as sharp as it gets. The ball had to go with touch off the block. Betsy Flint gets a hand. Outstanding defensive play from both of these teams, Flint and Nuss. Wow.
Unbelievable. And Betsy's starting to get a beat on that short line shot, but still not quite all the way there. The control right there on the dig.
And this is going to make for your Sky Vodka rally of the day. It was a very strong play from Kristen Nuss as she finds that short line. There was a hand on it, but nonetheless, it still falls. Again, that's your Sky Vodka rally of the day. 7-4, Cheng Flint take the timeout. Trailing by 3, we played a 15, must win by 2. I mentioned that no team has won twice on the women's side here on the AVP Tour. Cheng and Flint, though, have had some outstanding performances. You think back to Manhattan Beach, taking a second there. Then just before the Manhattan Beach Open, it was Hamburg, where it was an FIVB, an Elite 16, and they won it all. Before that was Atlanta, where they had a little bit of a falter, a 7th place finish there. And I call it that because that's what they would have called it as well. Not necessarily meeting their expectation in Atlanta. Fort Lauderdale, it was a 3rd. Hermosa Beach, a 2nd. You go all the way back to New Orleans, obviously winning that title. And in Austin, they made the semifinal, walking away with a 3rd. So they've had a very strong 2022. Good turn from Flint. Slapped up.
You know your partner means highline when she gives you the little extra shrieky highline call.
Some more emphasis on that turn look call from Nuss. The longer those rallies go, the more important those calls become. Too far off for the option there. Deep swing from Flint.
It's almost shocking to see a ball hit Kristen Nuss's arms and not come up perfectly to her partner, right? The skip off the tape maybe throwing her off just enough there.
Nice dig, Flint. What will Cheng do? She checks.
Ooh, I like that. Thought about shooting it and then saw some open court and slapped it down. That's really nice change of tempo there.
$17 kills for Cheng, 12 for Kloth. 3 and 2 blocks. And Betsy Flint has been running everywhere. That's a big time play, being able to chase that line shot and deliver another.
And Kelly in position to swat the short line, right? So Kristen had to go with the high variety, gave Betsy time to chase it down. Her distance is covered there. That kind of surprises me. I feel like we see Kristen running around like crazy back there, but Betsy and Kelly.
I don't know. You also think about the fact how much they're pulling off the net to dig anytime Nuss is, so it counts for both Cheng and Flint. Think of the number of high lines chased down by Betsy Flint.
Sure.
As well as cuts.
That's an excellent point.
Of course, those numbers powered by Connexon. Those are the black devices on their swimsuits you'll see. Taking in all the information as a tough serve pays off for Kloth and Nuss.
And just in a little bit of an awkward position there on that serve, right? And Kelly unable to control it.
Taryn Kloth trying to bring that topspin jump. Just a little bit more of the controlled jump serve. And that's an angle, not just towards the sideline, but straight into the sand.
And a wonderful pass from Betsy Flint. That serve skipped off the tape. She still manages to control it perfectly there. Cheng with the thump.
Not enough on that jumbo. Pull dig for Kloth. And the power. So controlled on that swing. Their high fives, by the way, might be like my favorite on tour.
Do you have a meeting where you figure out what your high five is going to be, or does it happen organically?
It happens organically. I like they always go for the high five, and then they go for the backhand, like slap high five, too. Here's the distance for Taryn Kloth. She finds a pull dig in that last play. Big block! She stayed patient, jumped into that angle at the last second. And look at Team TKN in the stands wearing the purple.
Pressing over getting block number 4. It's 12-8.
Her fourth block. She had 0 in the first.
The thing with her blocks is they're coming at very timely moments. They're not just, 1-0, 2-0. They're coming at critical late inning moments like this to get point number 12, for example.
I always remember we talk about Emily Day in that same regard when she was playing alongside Betsy Flint, coming up with timely blocks. Emily Day, of course, playing alongside Savvy Simo this year. Sees the pull into the line cut. Dropping dimes is Taryn Kloth.
Such a good shot, because you expect with the retreating blocker to see a bit of pace come in there, right? So that cut shot is surprising and very, very nicely done from Taryn Kloth.
The other women's semifinal also going 3 sets. Yes, a net violation on Kristen Nuss.
Perhaps too much nonchalance on that one from Taryn Kloth. Looked like, that set is not up to her standards, certainly.
Shot to find match ball. There's the short line picked up from Betsy Flint. That's a big time play right there. We talked about it before we even got into this set.
And what a time for it right there.
Huge.
A 3-point lead and match points on the side switch, or it's going to be a 1-point gain.
Another great defensive adjustment from Flint. Oh, she covers the high ball over her head. And it's inbounds. Kloth and Nuss saying it's out.
1 point game, 12-13.
Our line judges and head official calling that ball inbounds, and I believe rightly so, checking that ball mark. Here's a look at it. Ooh, I think it just caught the edge. Yep, that's a good call. Great job, crew. Look at that. Right on its impact point.
So interesting. We talked about that comeback from Pavin and Graudina that Kloth and Nuss faced in their match previous to this. Kristen had a shot that landed almost exactly in that same spot that would have wrapped up the match early for them, that was called out. So living and dying by the threads of the sidelines right now, Taryn and Kristen.
You got to think about those last two rallies, though, at the hand of Betsy Flint. There's Team TKN in the stands. You can see it on the forehead. A little bit of fun, why not? But you think back, the last two rallies, the 11th point came from Betsy Flint picking up that short line shot from Kristen Nuss. The second was the attempted jumbo over the top of her head that she got a hand on it. I want to talk about a defender finding points and making adjustments on the scouting report. Betsy Flint just found them 2 straight points doing that.
Yeah, and Taryn and Kristen still in the position where they can side out to victory here, but starts to get tight here a little bit.
And again, make it 3 straight for Flint.
With one hand again on the dig, Betsy Flint.
Betsy Flint
How about this
typically
run?
doesn't show a ton of emotion when she's playing, but she just went double fist down and full scream. Betsy Flint is here to play.
Yeah, what a charge here from Cheng and Flint.
And that jumbo falls.
I mean, that is intestinal fortitude right there to go back to the jumbo after you've had 2 of them picked up.
In 3 rallies. There's the numbers, hitting errors from set 1, set 2, now into set 3 for Nuss, 0. It's match ball. Good dig. Can she get to the final here? Flint's on it. It's gotta go. Cheng, up and over, and it's done again.
Oh my goodness, what a
We're
point.
knotted up. 14 apiece. Wow.
Who's going to blink first here? This is unbelievable defense from both teams. Hard to put the ball down against defenders of this caliber.
All. Picks up again in the line. She's been dug the last few, and that's too tight.
Rally and Betsy Flint.
Wow,
and
the defense right now. Cheng and Flint have match point. They were down 10-13. Pulling into the angle, the waterfall's there, and so is Flint. Oh, she can't pay it off. She can't pay it off. 15 all.
I'm really impressed with the confidence, though. Kristen Nuss going to these shots that she knows work for her.
Flint has done an amazing job making adjustments. And Nuss continues to go with what has been working. The margins are inches right now. It's 15 all. There's the option. You love having that in your back pocket.
And she does such a nice job holding that until the last moment.
Second opportunity at match point for Cheng and Flint.
Good vision, great execution that time, Kristen Nuss.
Well, and it looked like they kind of changed jobs there. Betsy Flint stayed a little bit more into the angle, and they tried to do a delay block with Kelly Cheng. Her responsibility was chasing that high line as a blocker instead. 16 all. Speaking of delayed blocks, there's one for Kloth, covering the high line. Nuss has the cut open. Oh man, she was 2 feet off the net. She was trying to cover the line, but her partner was also there.
Yeah, those are always tough, right, when you make the right read, but so does your blocker, and it just ricochets off their hands. couple chances that Kloth and Nuss have been unable to capitalize on here late.
It's another match ball into the net. They tried to go line to line. That's Cheng's favorite. Most utilized, especially in this matchup now. Nuss down the line. 17-all. Back-to-back for Cheng to get them back to match point. It's the 4th match ball.
Yeah, that's a wonderful pass from Betsy Flint. Kind of looked like Taryn was trying to go deep with that serve to give herself time to get up there, but didn't quite have enough time to front Kelly Cheng.
Tomahawk for Cheng. She's been errorless through the whole match. Nuss finds the corner.
Are you kidding me?
This is unreal. It's 18-all. Cheng has yet to have a hitting error. That was her 42nd attack. She has 24 kills. Nuss has 23. Little taste of your own medicine. Flint finds the jumbo. She goes, where's my counter, Cam? 19-18. Their 5th shot. Little trouble out of the middle, open net. She goes option, and there's gonna be no block. Another shot. Perfect set, and there's the shot into the angle. We haven't seen that one over the pulled angle block yet.
Yeah, that was nicely flattened out there. She had great vision of what was going on there. The crisscrossing of the defenders on Cheng and Flint's side just slaps it to the open corner. Can somebody convert a point-scoring opportunity?
That's the question. And another side out.
Yeah, well seen from Betsy that time. You could see Taryn jumping into the angle. Kind of a 4 call.
I don't think the sky ball's coming right now. It's match ball number 6. They test Kloth, and she says, not a great idea, folks. We had a match here in Chicago go 33-31 in the 3rd set on Friday. Anything is possible.
Yeah, this will be the longest set, even though it's designed to be the shortest.
Kloth, 16 kills, 1 hitting error. The blockers are doing well offensively. Nuss quick on the approach, and she beats the block. 5'6", and she takes the swing.
I like that there, though. Make the blockers move a little bit. Make tempo your friend there, your ally. And she's able to sneak it past the right hand of Kelly Cheng.
There were 6 match balls on the other side of the net for Cheng and Flint. And get this, the first team to reach match ball was actually Kloth and Nuss. That was back at 14-13. This is only their 2nd look. It was on her hands.
I love that, though, that even facing match point, they stick with what they know, which is pushing the ball up to the net and giving Kelly Cheng the option.
I'm keeping track of the score here, Rich. I'm running out of paper at this point. 21-all.
We have a scoreboard.
It's in. It caught the edge. Betsy Flint knows it. She's shaking her head. Yep, that was a good one.
Big wave Dave all over that one. Falls right on the back half of the end line.
third match point for Kloth and Nuss. 22-21. They've got the slow clap on their side. Again, I'm liking the way I see Flint kind of taking some out of Kristen Nuss's book. We saw the jumbo off of Betsy Flint, now the short line from Betsy Flint.
Right.
I love it. 22-all.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Exactly. Open net! And it's called out of bounds. Yikes.
45 switch.
Kristen Nuss has taken, what, 3 swings, maybe the entire match? 3 hard-driven swings.
Yeah.
She scored off the edge of the block not long ago. That one just wide.
And that was the right swing again, just barely missed it.
7th match ball. Cheng and Flint pulling into the angle, and yet again it shows up. We hadn't seen it. That's another way to defeat that angled pull of Kelly Cheng. Now they're testing her.
Yeah,
Flint's got that covered on the line.
Very nicely seen again. Kristen Nuss.
Wow, that's close. And again, the slow clap for Team TKN. Flint cleaning off her glasses. She's played so well, as has her partner. We've seen the option come up multiple times from Kelly Cheng. Is it again? Nope, she goes to her partner. Tomahawk for the win. Oh, Flint's right on that. It's gotta go. And there it is! 25-23. TKN is on to the final.
Yeah, they love to dangle that carrot. It looked like they were in control of that third set. Kelly Cheng, Betsy Flint made an unbelievable comeback and really were in control very late in that set. Taryn and Kristen just stealing it back again, earning their place in the finals. Well done. What a great volleyball match from all 4 of our athletes out there.
After fending off 7 match points, Taryn Kloth and Kristen Nuss on their 4th opportunity find it with a defensive transition right here. Taryn Kloth, the right hand getting out of the sand, and they're moving on to the finals here in Chicago. You have to love the incredible grit from both TKN as well as Cheng and Flint. That was an unreal match. Phenomenal play from all 4 athletes as you see how things shaped up at the conclusion of this one. The number 4 versus the number 6 seed in the women's semifinal. The distance traveled is outrageous. Kloth and Nuss have already played now 2 games, but guess what? They've got 1 more to go here on Championship Sunday. That's going to be the final. We've got men's semifinal coming up next.